Wherever you are watching us from, asante sana for being part of this great show. We are excited that you're tuned in. It could be from your house, from your hotel room. It could be from probably your computer or your phone gadget. Karibu sana. Today we want to talk about matters boy child, and someone said that once you're able to secure the boy child, you secure the society because he is the backbone. But the question is, why is the boy child the endangered species? And what should we do? This is a talk we are willing and daring to have right here on Ask the Ministers of God and give you real, practical solutions for your boy child. So if you are a mother, an aunt, a sister, of course, your boy child, a father, this is the right place to be, right channel, as you will understand how to raise him right. Well, on this panel, we've got a man of God, a psychologist. Kwa hivyo leo tuko na balance sambamba. My name is Super Waroe and I am your host. Let them introduce themselves.
Thank you, Super. My name is Alex Maina. I'm a pastor with the Deliverance Church in Kiamunyi, Nakuru. And I'm a friend of MBCA TV. Karibuni.
Asante sana.
Yes, my name is Elizabeth Wangare Geshimo, and I am a clinical psychologist by profession.
Why didn't you say doctor? You know, that is where we...
Oh, super. I don't know. You know, I think my battle with that title is, most times when you say doctor, people usually think ni daktari wa kutibu magonjwa.
Oh, makutoa meno.
Daktari, sio kudunga shindano.
So you'd rather just say...
I normally, that's why I emphasize I'm a clinical psychologist, you see. But yes, I'm a doctor because I've studied up to the doctorate level in clinical psychology.
Asante sana.
Yes.
All right, we roll off and we're excited to talk about the boy child from both a spiritual perspective and also from a psychological perspective, just to understand how to be able to save, or rather how to save him. Pastor Alex,
yes.
The boy child. I don't know how to put it, but he is almost like a mystery that needs to be solved. And we'd ask ourselves, where did we go wrong? Is it our battle? What type of battle is this that the boy child faces and fights day in, day out? When did it begin?
Good. I think this is a wonderful topic to handle today. And definitely you're speaking to one boy child.
Oh, thank God. And the girl children are here to support.
Yes.
And that marriage between the psychology and spirituality is very wonderful. By the way, that's the way things should be handled, because there's a lot we can learn from one another. But from my spiritual point of view, in relation to the boy child, I would go back to Genesis, the book of Genesis, where when God was creating the world, he put the male, the boy, or the man as the foundation of everything. He spoke to the man. He gave the man responsibility. So the man was to start a family. The man was to do the work. The man was to keep the garden. So kind of the agenda of God for the world was fully placed on a male boy or a male man-child. So God has an enemy, and that enemy is the devil. So if I was the enemy, I would attack the very foundation that God wanted to build his world upon.
So actually it's interesting, Pastor, that the first person God puts in the Garden of Eden is a boy child.
Yes, is a boy child. Okay, but also that tells us that the boy child is, by the way he is created, his purpose in God is a very, very high purpose. That God kind of relies so much on the success and on the future of many things, including family, including society, on the strength of the man. So, and I believe the battle that we face as men is a spiritual battle whereby the devil would like to destroy us men, because by destroying man, you destroy the family, you destroy the future, you destroy everything when you destroy the man. So, and that's why we have all these attacks, maybe from society, maybe from the way men have been made to think about themselves. It has a lot to do with that agenda of the enemy to destroy humanity. That's why we find that the most attacked person in all levels is a boy. So I think that would be the battle that we can try to think and talk about today.
So the battle just begins from the beginning, from the inception of man, representing the boy child. Actually, we see from the Garden of Eden. And probably before we get the psychologist or the doctor's point of view, we also see in the scripture, probably the book of Matthew, where all boys you know, I don't use the word slaughtered,
Yes, killed.
but it was a very sad time whereby all boys were executed.
Yes. And definitely, you know, even in the book of Exodus, what I'm saying is the devil knows that if God is going to save, maybe if God was to deliver the children of Israel from the land of Egypt, he was to use a male boy child. So that is where all the men, all the boys, the young boys 2 years and older were killed during the days of Jesus Christ, during the days of Moses. So the devil already knows that by destroying the man, he has destroyed the society. So I think that is the reason why men are the way they are today. If man is destroyed, and definitely we have a lot of examples in our societies whereby if a man is suffering, the whole society is suffering. If a family is started by a man who does not understand his purpose, who is kind of hurting, who is kind of wounded, who is kind of beaten by society, then the whole family that is going to bring up will have a lot of issues. I think there is that kind of a battle. The devil is after the boy.
Well said. And probably we'd get to come to you and just want to understand the makeup of the boy child.
Good question, super. You know, when Pastor Alex was talking and he mentioned that the role of the man he's the foundation. And you go back to Genesis and you talk about the role of a man as being the foundation. Now, if I was to come in now and even bring another perspective, biological perspective, yeah, you find that even how the man is wired, his brain, he is wired in such a way, he's more logical. He's all about organizing.
Facts.
You see? Exactly.
Factual, yes.
Precisely. That's how his brain is wired. And so you can see, and that is definitely, it's that way on purpose, because you need somebody who can be able to sift through all the very many things, because primarily the woman is more emotional. You see? But then that also serves its purpose, because she's supposed to be the nurturer.
Yes.
And in order to serve that role, then you need to be in tune
With the emotions.
with the emotions, isn't it? So can you imagine if both of us were logical? How would that function?
All emotion.
How would you see?
Yes.
You need somebody who can be able to just sift through everything and just go straight to the facts, to organize, you see, and to set up structures. And so you can see how even how the man is wired biologically. There is a certain role that he's supposed to be playing. And therefore, if we try to interfere with precisely how he's been wired or the role that he's supposed to be playing. So you can see why we have a problem. If we don't understand how this man has been built, then in terms of even how we groom him, how we nurture him, of course we're going to get it wrong, and see it also has an effect in terms of his role or the purpose that he's supposed to be serving.
So most men would be very factual, would be very logical.
Yes.
And
that's it's biology, it's science. Spirituality, but I'm bringing in the scientific angle to it. Yeah.
So now that translates back to leadership, maybe. The fact that a man is able to see through, to make judgment, precise, quick judgment at times, whereby a situation would look like it's off balance, but a man would come in and say, this and this should be done, while the wife probably is crying. Say someone has passed on. The woman will be in tune with her emotions. The man will be in tune with the facts. So when is the burial? What do we do? Who do we invite? I mean, talk to us about that.
Yeah, but then you see, as Dr. said, this man must be aware of that, number one. And this man must have gone through some mentors who understood him that this guy is supposed to be the visionary, he's supposed to be the leader, and he was mentored in that area. And actually the challenge that we have is that men are not being trained to be who they were supposed to be. Like the mentorship, the men, or the lack of it. That is why we find where leadership now is being called into play, the leadership is not there. And now we find now the girl maybe wanting to fill that gap because the man was not well prepared. Because the caregivers, wale walikuwa na raise the man, they never understood his purpose and the reason of him being born a man. So he was not nurtured well in that area. So that is where we have the challenges.
And Pastor, when you're talking about mentors, who should mentor a man, and at what age should mentorship begin? Actually,
mentorship is supposed to begin. Kind of mentorship begins when somebody is born. You know, that's, they are supposed to be trained or to be raised by people who understand them. You know, like, let's go back to the original man, Adam. Adam kind of succeeded in several things. He succeeded.
Did he kind of, or did he really succeed?
He felt that there's a place he came to fail at the end. Yes. You know the story of the temptations and all that. But before the temptation, Adam was a success. Adam, you know, sometimes we see Adam as a failure, but Adam was a really big success because Adam was able to keep the garden. Adam was able to name all the animals. Adam, and also that tells us of another position that God has given man, that it was the man who had the ability to name. Meaning, you know, when you name something, you are giving that thing an identity. You are defining its purpose. So that ability is in man. So and men are supposed to be mentored, even to know that they have that ability to decide and to direct maybe the children they are raising on who they are going to become. So the success of Adam, I would say, is because of his mentor. Adam had a father. So one of the way, if we are going to win in the battle where we're going to help the boy child needs a father. Adam had a father. Should the father be biological? The father, or should it be, let's say Adam, father figure? Yes, the father figure, where the biological father is not possible. But if it was the biological father, it could have been far much better. But we have to remember we're talking to a group of young people who probably, according to statistics, 30% of this generation do not have fathers. Yes, biological fathers. So basically, let's say Adam had a father figure who was God. But this father figure was a unique father figure. Was not just another, you know, father, we are not talking of somebody in trousers. We are talking of somebody who is able to understand what fatherhood is. Fatherhood in terms of a father is a knowledger, is an upholder, is a protector. A father is a guide. You know, so that father is a job description. Is not a man. Is not a name. As we wind up 1 minute, talking about mentors, how does it help a child in their growth, especially mentally? Yes.
Now, I like what Pastor has said. A father, you need a father. A father, or in the absence of biological, at least a father figure. And the key word here is a father figure. It's somebody who understands fatherhood. What does it mean to be a father? Why is that? Because you find that if this person, because you can say, you know, because some people say get a man to, you know, mentor and whatever. But the question is, what quality of a man? Because you see, children, between the ages of 0 to 7, that's when they're forming their identities. And in that space, you want to be sure the people who are speaking to this child are people who understand what is this child supposed to be, what is their role, what is their function, what future do you envision, you see? So if you just put somebody who, they themselves, when you look at their life, there's nothing to write home about. They don't understand who they are. They themselves have gaps here and there. Are you seeing? That is what they're going to put in this child. They're going to transfer. So at that age, they form identity. They learn by more of what they're seeing more than what they're hearing. Precisely. Children between the ages of 0 to 7 learn more by observation, and that is because their brain capacity at that point hasn't formed to understand concrete things. By concrete, I mean you know, communication, what is right from wrong, it's not yet formed. And so how they're learning, you see, they've just arrived in the world. Their brain hasn't yet, you know, loaded, if I was to use that word, to what is going on. So the only way they're going to start now at least having a clue, because they haven't even formed vocabulary, isn't it?
Is by observing.
It's by observing, because vision is 100%.
All right, and you're at home, you have your child that is between the ages of 1 to 7, whatever ages they're at. It is very key for you to understand that they learn via observing. What exactly are you doing? We'll be right back.